Hello, this is Yo Sensei. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn Boolean Difference command in Rhino to create basic spatial models. Boolean methodology is useful for creating interior space and openings for house or to create three-dimensional patterns. We are also going to learn the basic loft command for creating building skin surfaces. I will turn off all other layers and show the Boolean layer only. And I will be working on the work area layer. So now I am going to change this to shaded mode. And the way these models are made is that this is 15-inch by 15-inch by 10-inch models. So these are the sides of these cubes. So the first thing that we're gonna do is to create the 3D box, but turn on grid snap right here, and only on Windows it'll be at the bottom says snap. Okay, so make sure to turn on grid snap, and then we will click on the origin point, type 15, enter. 15, enter 10. So that's going to be our 3D box. And then what we are going to do is to create a box to cut out this inside piece out of our red box. So what we're going to do is we go to top view, and then we start on this corner that is 1 inch inside and 1 inch inside from the corner, and grid snap will let you snap to it, and then make it go slightly over outside. And then since our height of the box is 10 inch and wall or ceiling and the floor is 1 inch, the height for the cutting box is going to be 8 inches. So we have the box and two boxes. So next thing that we will do is to go to the right view and just move this one up 1 by 1 inch. So what we have is that we have outer box that is 15 by 15 by 10, and inner box that is starting from 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side, and then cutting out a little bit longer, and then we will cut this out. So Boolean difference. If you start typing and then if it auto completes like this, you don't have to finish typing. You just have to type enter. So Boolean difference, and then click on the outer box first, press enter, and then inner box, press enter. Okay, so that's going to take out this inner side. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is going to be the same. So we will start by typing 15 inch by 15 inch by 10 inch box command. Okay, and this time we have a box that is cutting through this direction in Y direction and X direction. So what we can do is we can go to the top view and create a 3D box using the box command. Do something like this, slightly bigger, and the height is going to be 8 inch again. Okay, so now we can go into the 3D view and then click on this one, and then click on this blue arrow and type 1. So it's going to go up by 1 inch. So that's our first one. But we would like to also copy this object by typing copy or clicking this one and click copy from here to here. Now we can rotate this object by holding shift and pulling the gumball for the rotation, and then just move it around. So now we have two boxes that are going to cut this one. So I'm just going to change the layer color for the cutting object. Okay. So it's going to be like this. Okay, so now if we copy the whole thing, and then Boolean difference, you can instead type BD. That is going to do the same thing. Boolean difference. And then select the first one, oops, select the red one, enter, and then cut this one out. Okay, so that's the second one. Third one, we're going to do the same thing. Start from here, 15 inch by 15 inch by 10 inch. Okay, so now what we can do is then we will go ahead and create a box that is going to be starting from somewhere around here and then go to here. So that is going to cut out this box, and then the height of it is 8 inch. Now this one is to come up by 1 inch. Okay. So on this one also has this hole right here. So what we can do is to create the hole by creating a box object and then kind of make it big, and then change it to this layer. So now we can count the numbers on the grid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grid on this side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grids on this side. So we can match the distance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go one more. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will move. Now on the height, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 units from the top. So we can have this overlapping by 4 units. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 objects that will be cutting out of this red box, and so that we will do here. So Boolean difference, BD, enter, and then select surfaces or polysurfaces. Always pay attention to this dialog box, and it's going to give you a hint of what you need to click next. So click on this one, press enter, click on this one, and white one, press enter. So we have this one, nice one cut out for you. So Boolean difference is a very useful tool to create this kind of, opening and interior space. So we are going to start building a spatial design model using this. Next, we are able to produce this kind of 3D pattern using Boolean difference also. So let's get to that. So what we have here is that we have these boxes that are base boxes that are 20 by 20 by 4 inches, I think. 4 inches. Okay. So that would be our base box. So again, using the grid snap, we can set up a 3D box here and type 20, enter, 20, enter, and 4, enter. So that's our base box. And in this case, we would like to create a sphere, but we don't really know how big the spheres are. So there is a super cool command that is inside of sphere, and sphere 3 points. You can create spheres from 3 points. And in this case, on object snapping, we would like to use end and midpoint and quadrant. And turn off project option because we are in the 3D view. Okay. So now we will get into it. So first point is this end point, and then second point is this middle point on the arc, and then click on this third point. So we can generate a sphere from 3 different points of this arc, which is really nice. So we're gonna go to the top view, and then we will turn on project in this case, and so that is going to let us kind of constrain movement in the top view. Now we will run copy command, and then start from this, and then we will copy these spheres using the center points. And once you have all of these, we can copy using the center points. You can turn off the grid snap, and so we can just keep copying this into these points. You can use actually this control point. So now we have this. Oh, but we did actually create these spheres in a wrong place. So we can select these spheres and then copy from this corner of this box, and then just go to this corner of the box. Okay, so that would be our Boolean. And then we can do the same thing, Boolean difference. Click on this, and then you can select the second set of surfaces by clicking this, or you can kind of like adjust the view and then just drag from left to right, and then right to left, and then you can run the Boolean difference command. Very cool. Okay, second one is pretty much the same. So we will start turn on grid snap. You will always be turning on and off of grid snap, and then project snap all the time. So now we can run 20 by 20 by 4. And now I think we are going to create a 3D box somewhat. And then I actually don't remember what kind of thing that I made to use to make. So what I'm going to do is just kind of like 3-dimensionally turn this one around so that we have something like this. And then what we can do then is to divide this line. So type divide. And then we can divide this one by 5 segments. Okay, so what it's going to do is it didn't really divide this object or anything. It just created these points for references. So what we can do is bring this first one in position, okay, and then turn off the grid snap, and then kind of look at it from the top side view. It's not cutting all the way through. So now we will use these points as reference to copy this object. So copy, and then make sure project is on, and click. Okay, so that is that. And then now we can also divide this edge, and then use that into 5 segments, and then use that as a reference points to copy these boxes. Okay, so now I think I'm missing one line. Okay, so Boolean difference adds this one. Yeah, it's slightly different, but it's okay. Okay, the third one is pretty much the same, but I want you to figure it out by yourself and make this one on your own. Okay, so that is that. And the third one that I would like to do, the next one that I would like to do is creating lofting. And so lofting can be very tricky, and you can make use of loft as in a very, very different ways. But for the first thing that I would like to do is to create a vertical line on the front view. With grids, you don't really have to have grid snap. So we have this line. Okay, so we are going to copy this line multiple times. Okay, so something like this. So now, okay, now we run loft command, loft, and click on these curves. And then we can do it with normal. So that is going to create this kind of smooth surface. One thing that you need to be careful about lofting is you could loft you clicking on the different side of objects and then have this kind of twisted loft. So be careful. The order you, the side of the curve that you will click is going to affect your result. Okay, so that would be the normal option. But if you run the loft as straight sections option, then it will create this kind of result. So you know, that's what's going to happen. The second thing that I would like to show you is you can actually run this command that is show command. So show command is going to show every hidden object. Okay, so now I'm going to hide these and hide these and hide these. But instead of showing everything, I can actually type show selected command. And show selected command is super useful. It's going to show all of the hidden objects, and then you can only select the part that you want to show. So that's quite nice. So I'm just going to hide and hide. Okay, so compared with the first one, the second series actually has a little bit of more of character. So the first series is just lofting between straight lines, and then it's creating this kind of extruded type of form. And in the second set, it gives you more of kind of like bending of paper type of feeling. So we are going to do that. So first, we are going to go to our front or right view and draw a kind of angled line. Okay, and then we can just, using perspective view, copy this object. Okay, and then you can start changing the angle of the curve. Okay, so different angles of the curve. So I'm going to loft between these. It's going to give me this kind of, you know, surface. I think it's okay, but it's kind of a little bit too even. Maybe I want this side to go to the other side, you know, like that. So if we keep doing, we would like to be able to adjust the form in a very, very intuitive way. So what we are going to do is click on this one. It's called history. And on Macintosh, it's on the top, and Windows version, there's going to be at the bottom. So click on history, and then type loft, and then click on these curves. Okay. And now I have this kind of form. And if I don't like this angle of the curve, you can just take the original curve, not the lofted surface, and then move this around. And then the form is going to follow it. And so I think this is a really nice way to kind of look at the form at the same time we are adjusting the, you know, details of the object. So that's quite nice. And this version, you can just create the same thing using the straight sections. So I'm going to just copy it, then delete this one, and then loft with straight sections. And but you can still, as long as you have the history on. On Macintosh, it's always constantly on. But on Windows versions, there's it turns off every time you move it. So you're gonna have to you know click on record history every time you do the loft command, every time. So that's the different things. Okay. So now sometimes you move this surface away, and then it will break the history, and you will no longer be able to control the object by the child objects. So be careful. So the last thing, and show selected, and select these. So the last thing, the last set of the surfaces that I would like to go over is that right now, first set was good. It was extrusion. But the second set was kind of like, nice in a way that it was more like a paper type of thing. But it does look very, very straight from the side view. For the third set, I would like to get the surface to move up and down and kind of like changing angles and things like that. So what we are going to do here is you can select unnecessary items and hide. So we are going to start with just line on the bottom, and then I am going to change the angle, change the location, and then start copying this. Okay, and then we can go into the perspective view, and actually just loft. And then normal. So now I am able to move these objects around. Oops. Actually, the history for all of these are inherited by the other one. So, inherited by the other one. So, what we can do is, at this point, we can just run purge history. History purge. So, the history purge command is going to delete the history of the object. So, I would like to delete the history on these objects. So, these are history is deleted, and then and now I'm going to make sure I run the history on and then loft. Okay, so now it's fine. So now we can take these curves and rotate and move this around, and then change scale. And you can really do pretty tremendous things. You can scale this one really small, and then have this one to rotate the other way. So you can really get the surface to kind of create sense of movement. Very nice. This feels a little bit too tight, so you can kind of like adjust it. Yeah. Okay. So this is quite nice. So you can create this kind of it's all straight sections, but length and position and rotations are all different in three-dimensional way. So you can create this kind of very playful surface using this command. So tutorial, we learned how to create these three simple types of objects using Boolean Difference command and Loft command. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful, and I will see you at the next video. Thank you.